Hello! Time to play a little bit here. Hi, Cynthia, how are you? Hello. Hi, Tanya. Who else? Hey, Denny, how are you? Alexis, how are you? John, how are you? Cool to see everybody. Yes, I'm playing a really cool guitar. Hey, from London, yes. Jimmy, how are you? I love London. I've been there many times over the years. I want to just play one of my coolest signature guitars yet. This is a 24 fret neck through with the Floyd FRX system. Look at this bad boy. There's no drilling on the guitar. This, so you don't have to drill a big hole in it to put a tremolo. It's amazing. This is like juicy. What? It's a juicy sounding guitar. It's thick. It's just a really super thick sound. It's just got an amazing tone, and it is in stock now. It's really a great guitar. These are actually, I think there's a flash sale, 25% off on this, and the price even before that is reasonable. But Sawtooth just makes such cool guitars. These are in stock. Look at the binding on this bad boy. It's just incredible. Now, now that I've done the shout-outs, I just want to play a little bit about this. And then this segment of the No Boundary shows is really about your questions. You know, I get a lot of questions, and a lot of people private message me, and I can't answer everybody, so that's why I do it every week here. And so I hope that you know that I genuinely want to help. I can't do it in a private setting. It's just too intense. And so, but I can do it publicly. But I love the tone of this. This would be my go-to guitar when I hit the road again. Like, listen to that. That 24 frets, that's what makes this so cool besides other things. It's heavy, but it's not really heavy. The neck is nice. It feels really good. It's that smaller scale length like you'd expect on a guitar like this. And this Floyd FRX, it's very, hello Roxana, how are you? This Floyd is very, how can I say it? It's very touchy. It's very individual. It plays a little bit. It's got a little more give to it than other Floyds, but man, does it stand too. And it's got so many cool adjustments to it. just sounds mean. It sounds really, really killer. Anyway, I'm going to play a little bit more, and then I want to answer some of your questions. And I've got a few other things to go over today, but I Sawtooth and ChromaCast and GoDPS Music, GoDPS Live sponsor these shows. And I'm really grateful that I can bring this to you every week. Believe it or not, this is about a year since I started this, and I've been doing a lot of different shows. But I'm really in love with this guitar. That's the thing. If I don't believe in something, I can't talk about it. If I don't really, truly, in my heart of hearts, believe in it, I can't tell you, dip your hands in ice water before you play guitar, bro. I swear to God, you're gonna play really chill, dude. I can't lie and do this stuff. If I don't believe something, I can't say it. But I just love this. I mean, the sound of this is just so badass. And I never swear. Perfectly back in tune. I'm telling you, this guitar rules, and it's in stock and it's shipping now, and it's 25% off. Now, before we get to this, the questions answered, I just want to take a little bit of time and talk about a couple things. One, Tom Morello. Tom Morello was a student of mine, and it actually happened by accident. He had another teacher at the music store that I worked at in the Highland Park area of Illinois. I grew up in the Chicago area. And so he was scheduled to be with me. And I watched him play, and I showed him things in this lesson that he has told me many times over the years it changed his life. In fact, one year in the 1990s, he told me, he said, Mike, he said, having that lesson with you, that first one with when I gave him the infamous sheet of paper, he said it was a musical epiphany. And he was on the Howard Stern show yesterday singing my praises. And, he doesn't have to do that. He's a super big time guitar player, but it just shows, and it shows, with me too, I'm here to help. And I don't say things that I don't mean. And I practice what I preach. It's not kind of like, you wear a mask and then I don't wear a mask. Or, I'll just, or you do this way and I do it another way. I'm not like that. And somebody said, make us sound like a cat fighting. Hey, Justin, okay, I'll give you a shout out. You've got the shout out. Justin Lorenzo. Okay, I can see up close here. Now, so that's one thing I wanted to cover. Thank you, Tom. Also, Eddie Trunk, if you're familiar with that metal show, which I was on the last season, Eddie tweeted about it too. So he's like, man, very cool of Tom to, his metal brother to talk about Angelo, Batio and Grim Reaper and a bunch of other things too. But so, I've been getting a lot of shout outs from this, but it's pretty cool that Tom does this. And he's done it multiple times over the years. I mean, it's corroborated in Guitar World magazine, what I taught him. And it's nice, to see people go on to be that big that I work with. And I feel, that in some, way that I helped him. Okay. Also, too, I have an MAB band, and it's a really great band. We have a great drummer, great bass player, really great singer, and we are releasing a full-length concert. It's part of it has cover songs, part of it has original music, acoustic guitar. The drummer Joe plays cajones, and it's really great. It's like the snare kit drum thing where he taps on it. It's not like a bongo. You sit on it, and it's a Sawtooth product. They're really incredible. But the band concert's released tomorrow, and it's on the Go DPS Live app, which is free. Download it and check out our whole concert. It's incredible. And so we do things like, I love this song. Okay, wait a second here. Uh-oh. Now listen, I am Joey. I'm Joey the narcissist. Now see, I'm the one. It's I, me. Angelo thinks he's so good. Listen, I don't know nothing because I'm just a hand, but I'm always here to lend a helping hand. And I'm the one, I'm the show. Everybody always talks about Robert, picking. Oh, he's so fast. What about me? What about me? I'm sick of this. I am the star of this show. Will you shut up? Wait a second, Robert wants to talk. Okay, he just said for Joey to shut up. What? So here's what Joey wants to say. This guitar is amazing. Now, it's all me. See, the guitar actually doesn't sound that good. It's me that makes everything sound good. Nothing sounds good. I am the one that makes everything sound good. I, me. Narcissism. This is Joey. Okay, enough. Wait, I've had more. See what I go through every day? See what I go through? Now I have to tell you guys something funny. Okay, that's a good question about my picking style. I'm going to answer that. I have had, such a great career. And I'm so much enjoying these, live streams that it's become like a thing with me every week. Now, I was going to ask everybody out there, if I was going to start a second live stream, where would you recommend? Because I definitely want to do this. I'm going to be on tour later this year, maybe. Who knows with COVID, but we're going to start a second live stream. So where do you think that I should do this? Now, somebody asked a pretty funny question. Why is your picking hand so weird? Now, okay, Robert wants to say a few words. Robert never talks. He never talks. He shreds. That's what he does. He lives for the shred. He breathes for the shred. Wait a second, he's a hand. He can't breathe. Okay, see, now between the three of us, we're covered. See, I've got the brains. Joey's the mouth. He's the arrogant one. See, I'm the cool one, but I got this. I have to live with this guy. He screams in the middle of the night. He'll go like, wake up! I'm like, what? He goes, I am the one. Shut up and go. Reminds me of Mo from the Three Shoots. Shut up and go back to sleep. Remind me to murder you later. And, but anyway, what I wanted, what the question was is, why do you pick so weird? It's a good question, actually. I might have stated it a little differently, but hey, that's me. Okay, let me answer a couple things about, can I play No Boundaries? Yeah, I play it all the time. Yeah, please give me one of your guitars. When I hold a pick, I'm about a little over 6 feet tall, about 183 centimeters. And so with boots on, I'm 6'1", 6'2". I'm tall. And so when I was younger, I was vertically challenged. I was very, very small. And so my arm literally actually was like this, straight out when I played. As I got older, my arm went like this. Now here's what I do. I anchor my fingers on the guitar. I've done this ever since I was a little kid. And so what I do is this. A natural wrist motion. Okay, Joey, can you calm your ego enough to show the people? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Okay, just do it. Your wrist moves like this. See, Robert will show you. A natural human wrist, you know, you don't move side to side. Your wrist moves this way. When I play guitar, my wrist, see, this is the thing that has saved me. Watch that motion. See, when you look at it like this, it's like that. It's so natural. It's so natural to play. Now then you add a little bit of elbow in there, but virtually no arm. Here, your rotator cuff, a little bit of elbow and a little bit of wrist. This is the reason I am the one not wearing casts, not having bandages on my arms, not having problems, because what I did, somebody said too weird. Okay, Justin, I'm gonna call you out here. Justin, if you have this kind of attitude, and people out there have this kind of attitude, you're not going to learn anything. You know what? I never have to worry about people that don't want to learn anything because they're stuck. Because you have to worry about people like me who learn and who continue to learn, and the people out there. So if you guys want to learn something, I'm here to teach. If you don't, hey man, I don't care. You know, you can go through life being ignorant. It's okay. I'm not an expert on a lot of things, but I'm an expert on guitar, and I'm an expert on technique, and I've taught some of the greatest guitarists in the world to back it up. And so when I hear this stuff, I get not mad. I get kind of, it's like, why? Why even do this? You know, why even want, you know, if people, you know, want to come out and act like this, they don't deserve to get the kind of teaching that I can offer. If you want to learn something, and here's what I was saying. When you move your wrists naturally, you don't hurt yourself. You have to know your own body. I've said this over and over. There is another school of thought, and a lot of people play like this. They have a free-floating system. And so their hand actually doesn't really rest on the guitar. So it's like this, like, I'll play close phone. Versus mine. See, I'm good at both, and I studied both, and both are acceptable. But when what you have to get past is that it's not just the way it looks, it's the mechanism all the way down your arm. Everything is connected from your shoulder, your rotator cuff here, to your elbow, to your wrist. So when somebody says, oh, dude, you pick weird, dude. Heck yes, I do, and I'm really proud of it. I pick in a way that has enabled me to have a lifelong career with 0 injuries. And that's something that you need to have a lifelong career in order to talk about this. You know, and if somebody said, oh, Michael, well, you're arrogant for saying that. No, I'm not. I'm trying to give you my experience. What is it worth? How do you quantify that? If I say something that can help you be healthy on guitar and play better for the rest of your life, I mean, what is that worth to you? So when people, you know, come on this show or they want to have attitudes, look, have your own attitude. That's up to you. Believe me, when this show's over, I will not even think 2 seconds about it. But what bothers me is that why people have closed minds, such closed minds where they don't want to learn something new. Because those are the people that are going to be the bitter ones. You know, I love to learn new things. Tom Morello is a great example. And so, you know, and so you can call it what you want. It's been analyzed over and over. Robert has been very much analyzed. But the picking technique has held its own forever because it's sound, technical skill. And it was a learned technique. I didn't just, it was by accident because of the way I was born and being so little when I was younger and then growing at a rapid pace. But it also is something that I studied it and I analyzed it to help you, also to help me. But you have two different schools of thought. You can use your fingers on the guitar or you can have them off the guitar. And then some people, like a Joe Bonamassa, will use a little bit of both. And a lot of times we all use a little bit of both. But it's really kind of one or the other and little bits of either one in between. But that's actually a really good question, said a really kind of crazy way. Okay, I'm right-handed and my left forearm hurts trying to play notes. Are there strengthening exercises? That's a really good question too. Now, I touched on this before. When I started touring a lot, which is a long time ago, you know, I mean, do you see where my forearm is here? It's close to my body. One of the things that guitar players fall into a big trap is that they have their arm too far away from their body. And what that does is it puts pressure on your shoulder. And so, you know, I have a great friend, Rob Ross, who's a drummer, and he played on No Boundaries and 2X Again and Rainforest, and he's a counselor. And so I told him one time, I actually, from working out, had dislocated my wrist bones. And at the time I was engaged to my fiance was a doctor of Ayurvedic medicine. She went to India and China and all over to study. And she told me my wrist was dislocated. But I remember I used to tell Rob, I go, Rob, my hand hurts when I do this. And he goes, well, then don't do that. But he was right. He was right. Don't do that. If you find that you're hurting, do a workaround. Try to adjust your body in increments where it stops hurting. And for example, when I started playing left-handed guitar, even though I am left-handed, when I was playing left-handed and just doing simple things, I found that my wrist was hurting. Joe was like, this sucks. I'm the star. I don't want to hold no pick like Robert, then I can't talk. So Joey was like, but he can't pick like Robert. He couldn't pick like Robert. And so what happened was I was getting a little twinge in my wrist. So I had to adjust the way I played a little bit. I found a work. I like to think of it like a workaround. Like you find places that feel comfortable for you. And so you have to know your own body. And you have to find the way that it works for you. Those are really good questions. Like, for example, holding a guitar upright like this. Also, I play a lot more economy picking now. When I was younger, it was the age of steel, like Conan the Barbarian. But then I saw James Earl Jones, and he could just, with a word, and people jump off cliffs. That's power, boy. And he told Conan, that's power. Well, I was in the age of steel, which was always picking. But then I started working on economy picking, which in the original Speak Hills I called alternative because the word economy hadn't really been like standardized. And so That's economy. Now, it's hard to tell the difference. But what I do is when I use economy picking, I find that it's a lot less stress on my body because not everything's, it's like Robert and Joe are not like, you know, one-on-one, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not like that. It's more like that. It's more relaxed. And it gives me an opportunity almost to chill, baby, chill. God, I love this guitar. It just sounds so good. So what happens is when I use these different techniques, what I try to do is I try to find a way to, why would I know about a Fernandez? Okay, anyway, when I work on these techniques, I find ways that make it feel comfortable. Practicing with the body on your right knee or in between your legs. That's a great question. I've talked about this before, but I think you always need to talk about it. A lot of guitar players play on their, right knee, and they practice when they're sitting down, right? Now watch what happens when I stand up to go play. See when I'm like this? Yeah, see, from the top up, I've got cool clothes, but I'm wearing my workout sweats because it's comfortable to just jam around it. But see, the point is this. If you put your guitar on your right knee when you're playing, being a right-handed person, when you go to stand up, the guitar shifts to here. And it's not really a great way to practice, in my humble opinion. I practice like a classical guitar. So, like you can say putting it between your legs, but really, and that would be the case if it was a flying V, but you're also resting on your left leg. And see, here's what happens. Watch when you play like a classical guitarist and you stand up. Lo and behold, it's the same. It is the same. Somebody said they love the string dampener. Thank you. It works really great. I use it all the time. Ebony fretboard. I can't even talk here tonight. Let me tell you about, we're going to have some of the people from Sawtooth put up the specs. But here's what I can tell you. This, when somebody asked about the guitar, this guitar with the FRX system, it not only does it look really beautiful, but it works really great. And there's so many different ways to adjust it. For example, you can adjust the feel of the tremolo, whether you want it to hang loose, or like what I do is I can stay there. You have micro adjustments on this guitar and this FRX system that you just don't have on other guitars. And look at, there's no drilling. See, a normal Floyd Rose, you would see a big cavity back here. And now I'm talking about this. I don't have no cavities. Do these teeth look like they have cavities? Wait, what are you talking about? This is my show. What are you talking about, teeth? Teeth, I'm Joey. Joey the narcissist. Yes, me. So anyway, what happens in a guitar with a Floyd is you have to drill through the body. Yes! Will you shut up? See what I deal with? Do you know what it's like being woken up in the middle of the night? What? Shut up and go to sleep. So it's, I feel like I've got Mo next to me. But anyway, yeah, I'm talking about the Three Stooges. I love them. And anyway, the ideas that I present to you, I make this a show. I like to be funny. I have a good time. I love to watch comedy. I love watching like old Robin Williams or Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield was just hysterical, or Sam Kinison, or I love old comics because there wasn't those politically correct times. They could just say what they wanted to say and they didn't have to swear, which I thought was very cool too. But I love Richard Pryor too. He swore a lot, or old Eddie Murphy. What do I think of Striper? I love Striper. And I know them too. But listen to that sound, how thick it is. The only way to get that sound, this neck through, thick, nice wood, but it's not too heavy. But we have 24 frets. The biggest separation, obviously, is I love this color white and the beautiful. Look at the binding on there. There's like 3 rings. I mean, it's just awesome. But the 24 frets and the locking Floyd and the FRX system. This FRX system is really great, and it's different. See, it's the most temperamental Floyd. It's a kinder, gentler Floyd, but it's very detailed. There's so much detail on this Floyd. I love it. Yes, it comes in black, all black. The color of death. Which reminds me, I still want to do my vegan death metal record. Rock. Oh. Or I want to do a Beatles cover of She's So Heavy. I want you. She's so heavy. Or I was thinking about yesterday. Yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. What do you think? I thought that, I want to do a duet with Jim Carrey doing Napalm Death. You don't bring me flowers. Oh. Or how about Sam Kinison? It'd be, Now, I kid around with death metal, but I gotta admit, I love it and it cracks me up at the same time. It's kind of like, I don't know, I just get a kick out of it. There's so much expression on this guitar. There's just so much. I really love it. Okay, anyway, yeah, it's vegan death metal with a death not like that. No, it isn't. We don't know what death is like, but Keanu Reeves said it best. Somebody said, Keanu, what is death like? And he goes, I don't know. He goes, but the people that love you miss you. And I thought that was very profound. So whatever we know about death, which isn't a whole lot, know this. If you lived a good life, when you die, the people that love you are going to miss you. And that's the best thing we could ever hope for. Besides being very spiritual, okay, yeah, he made one with Jim Carrey. Okay, is there anything else regarding questions that I can answer here? Okay, we've got a lot of people online. Okay, anyone see the Death Metal Guy documentary? Okay, if I could pick any vocalists alive or dead, who would it be to work with? That's a really great question, but I'll tell you who I would love to work with. A young Paul McCartney. And I love, I've said this before, but I love to get feelings from singing. Or I'll tell you what, the singer from Linkin Park, in the end, it doesn't even matter. I loved his voice. Chester, I think that's what his name was. Or Chris Cornell. God, I loved Chris Cornell. String size, I use 9-42s, and I use a 52 on my 7-string. So they're thin strings, but they just sound amazing. Like, I love that song. So, any other questions? I'm trying to find my tone. I didn't get to see that one. There's so many questions. Do you play with a really light touch? I do not. I play with a heavy touch. One of the reasons, that was a really great question. One of the reasons so many female guitar players are successful nowadays is because they don't play light. See, there were, Paul Stanley said something a long time ago that, basically meant in order to play rock and roll, it's better to be a guy. And see, one of the things that really separated amateurs from pro musicians are the fact that a lot of amateurs played very lightly on their instrument. And so I could hear it right away. Like if you're a drummer and you're playing really light, watch the drummer we have on the MAB band. He just tears it up, just rips it, and it's so powerful. And so, can you pull up on the FRX? I'm going to do that while I'm talking. So the answer is yes. And there's actually, it's a screw that's right here on this side where you can adjust how much you can pull up on the guitar. That's what makes these FRXs so amazing, is that you can really do a lot with it. But anyway, getting back to the light touch, when women in rock music and in heavier music started picking hard, it equaled the playing field between girls and guys. Because see, before social media, social media has probably been a detriment in some ways politically, and you know what I mean? There's so many nasty people that, not that they're nasty in real life, but they just like to be nasty online. That's not a good thing. But I'll tell you what is a good thing, to be able to watch B.B. King, or watch Django Reinhardt, or watch Buckethead, or watch me, and see how we do this. So what happened is the playing field now is leveled in all genres of guitar between men and women, because the women pick as hard as the guys. That was the difference. See, I'm not talking about classical, because classical guitar, or if you watch a symphony orchestra, you see a lot of women in the symphony orchestra. See, one of the reasons speed kills, I'm going to pull this up a little bit. One of the reasons my methods are so popular and they still sell so well is because these are things that I've known forever. See, the reason a symphony orchestra has so many women is the methodology to teach was the same with guys or girls. And so and women knew to play as aggressively as men. And so, you don't play an instrument dainty. You might look pretty, or you might be a handsome person, but that doesn't mean that you play lightly. You don't want, you play it hard. And so this is what happened in rock music and in heavy guitar music. Women started to play hard. Nancy Wilson, great example. What is she? But and so that leveled the playing field. So to answer the question in a 10-minute segment, play hard! Why? Because you must. Do not ever fear the shred. Do not ever. If you fear the shred, Nita Strauss, great. She probably beat me in arm wrestling. Do not fear. Do not fear the shred. Ever play with Nita? No, but I know her. Not really well, but she's big. Not taller than me, but big. You see, you have to play with aggression. And when you shake it, shake it! So that's it. How stable are the necks on Sawtooth? I mean, incredible. Hey, Brett, how are you? You have to play with conviction. I'm a bass player. I play hard. You're right. You have to play aggressively, even when I wrote a song called Peace. And so, but when I go, the melody is, I ended the last thing a little different. But when I play, I went. I got that singing vibrato, and I dug into each note. You have to feel. And you need expression, and expression does not come with. Although if you want to play staccato and it calls for that, then. So just using dynamics and playing hard, playing soft, using the power that you have here and in here will greatly, greatly enhance your playing. Now, we have picking light or hard, being able to control both. Yeah, I would say that. But I think one of the things most people don't do is pick hard. They pick too light all the time. There's, nuances are a given. You have to play light sometimes, but you have to play aggressively. This guitar from Sawtooth is amazing. It's in stock now, and it's a 25% off flash sale. The MAB band will be in concert tomorrow on the Go DPS Live app. I will be posting an advert on it. You've got to check it out. We have a great band. I really love it. Also, too, I'm judging a guitar contest. If you know about digital interfaces, the RME Babyface Pro, RME, it's a great company out of Germany, but they're really global. They're huge, and if you go to their website, it's synthax.com, SYNTHAX, or just Google RME, and join this contest. You get to win a Babyface Pro FS2. I'm sorry, the Babyface Pro FS. It's the second one from the Babyface line. I have it. I use it as a digital interface. It is absolutely amazing. And I can't say enough about it. But anyway, I answered a couple questions. If you want details and you want to really know what I showed Tom Morello, and I showed, all the other great guitar players that I've worked with, go to Metal Method, metalmethod.com, get speed kills. It works. It's worked. It's going to work. 50 years from now, it'll work. 10 years from now, it'll work. Today, it'll work. Yesterday, it worked. It works. And how many harmonics? How are the harmonics on the guitar? Oh, that's a good question. I think they're great. I mean, to do... Okay, so yeah, and somebody asked, what do I mix, digital or analog? Always digital now. I mean, I love analog tape as much as anyone else, but let's face it, man, it's 2021, it's the digital age, See, I love to play natural guitars, but I think, you use the technology that's there. I don't have a clamshell phone, and I sure don't have I have my dad's old phone in my house. It's about as big as a battery, and it's got a 3-meter long antenna, about a 10-foot long antenna. It's not really the technology I want to use today. Back then it was great. But anyway, I just want to say this. Check out the concert, Go DPS Live, the MAB band. Look at Tom Morello on Howard Stern. If you don't believe my lessons help, you can talk to you can see what one of the most famous guitarists in the world had to say about the way I teach. And what I say works, what I say will help you. I never said I was perfect. I never said anything about myself other than I know about guitar. And I understand, and I'm living proof about how my fingers feel, my arms, my wrists. having never been injured, yes, if somebody likes sounding retro, sorry, I'm answering a couple of questions. That's great. Use analog, but I think we're in the digital domain. Sooner or later, no matter what you do, if you want your music heard, you're going to have to enter the digital domain. So you can make it sound analog all you want. Sooner or later, there's going to be a conversion process, and that's converting analog to digital. So, we all live in the digital world. I live in the digital world, and I like it. And, if the Matrix is where I live, so be it. I don't mind being the shred master in the Matrix. So anyway, I'm Angelo Batio for Sawtooth Guitars, Sawtooth Amps, ChromaCast, GoDPS Music, and the new app that's free, GoDPS Live. See ya. Thank you. Bye.